Hey guys, it has been kind of a couple of weeks here. There is so many things to update you on, but I am really relieved to tell you you haven't really missed out on a whole lot as far as the garden goes because, well, let me just put a picture on the screen for you right here. Yeah, that's been happening all week. Yep. In the end of April. I can't even believe it. I'm on one hand, life has been so much lately. I'm kind of thankful. It's a cold, very long winter and very short spring. On the other hand, we're running out of days because just because we have a really short spring doesn't mean we're gonna get a really long summer. And it doesn't mean we have any more growing season. So I'm kind of ready. I'm really itching to get my hands in the dirt, and I keep stopping myself from planting seeds out there because we keep on getting snow. So something exciting that happened that I'm so glad I get to share with you guys, and I actually saved the box, which I don't necessarily recommend that you do this. If you get a box like this, which I'll tell you about in just a second, you need to open it right away. I waited just because I really wanted to open this, so I have not even cut it open yet at all. I don't even know what's in there, but I wanted to show you my Ridge Nursery tree order for this year. Now, it's not big. I didn't go crazy, but I am still very excited. This is one of my favorite things to have arrive in the mail, and I get to share it with you. So I'm gonna be filming this video in little bits and pieces, so it's going to be a little bit from a few different days, and I just want to update you guys on the farm in this video as well as show you what's in this box. And I'm gonna give you guys a sweeping view of what's going on in the greenhouse. It is very full. I am gearing up for our plant sale. If you're local, our first plant sale is going to be May 5th. Stay tuned to the Facebook page and hopefully the website here for the details on what all we're going to have going on in May here on the farm. It's going to be a little crazy. It's going to be super fun, and I cannot wait. So I will leave more details down in the description for you guys, so check that place out as well. Yeah, let's get into this, shall we? All right, I have my trusty buck knife here. Man, this knife has been through a lot with me. Let's cut this open. Okay, so this is my tree order. Now, I really only ordered one tree. If you order bare root trees, you're gonna wanna get that package open as soon as you get it in the mail, all right? Now, I waited just one day because I wanted you guys to see this, and I couldn't get to it yesterday. So here we are. But I've done this a few times, so I figured it'd be fine. It was cold. I left it in a really cold spot. Alrighty. You're gonna be super careful with the knife. Obviously, you don't want to damage anything. What you're gonna end up with is an invoice on the outside. Now, this is pretty specific to Burnt Ridge, but I've ordered from some other companies before, and they all do pretty similar stuff. So when you order in the winter time from companies like this, you can order whatever you want, but it doesn't mean it's going to make it through the winter and it's going to make it to your house in the box. So basically, you can have your original order like in an email or something, and then they will mail you an invoice, and they're not going to charge you until they ship it. At least that's how this company works, which is really nice because you do have a little bit of time to change your order if you want. But like one year I ordered, I think quite a few different types of cherries, and they just didn't make it. So I didn't pay for them, they didn't ship them, and it all worked out. And I didn't get my cherry trees, which that's okay. So this right here is kind of my packing list. It's got what's in the box on it. So you always want to make sure that you check them off as you go, because, you know, they're packaging a lot of orders, and a lot of these companies are super great about either refunding you or sending you a replacement if it didn't get put in the box. So we're gonna open this here. Now, this company tends to ship with these beautiful bamboo rods in them, so that way everything stays sturdy. And then this time it's all wrapped up in one plastic bag. So what I'm gonna do, and this is why you want to open the order as soon as possible, because it will mold pretty quickly and you're just gonna end up killing your trees if you leave them in this plastic for too long. It's mostly to keep the box intact while it's shipping. So we're just gonna cut through some tape here, rip open this plastic. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I'm doing it in the greenhouse because, again, it is just not that warm outside. It's been in the 40s. Some days, I mean, we've gotten up in the 50s and whatnot. We've even had one day in the 60s, which was super nice. But the night temps, I mean, man, it's just been cold. And there's still snow all over the mountains, which is where that cold air is just coming from. So we're just gonna go all the way down this box. Cut the tape off here. Be super careful not to nick any of the trunks of these trees. You don't want to damage anything at all when you're opening it. Okay, now I'm gonna bring you guys in with the camera here and show you before I undo anything. All right, so it's got wet newspaper. Okay, and that is wrapped all around this root system. Now you really don't want to have these roots exposed to the air for too long. We're just going to keep them covered up. And it's got some more on the other end. So what they usually do is they'll pack some trees this way and some trees the other way so that they lay in the box nicely. So most of these, well, or all of them, should have some kind of label on them. We've got some blackberry, I have an apple in here, and a pear. So they're not very big, but that's okay. To me, I would rather have a smaller tree and pay a little less. Pardon the goats. They are jealous because the guinea pig is getting his cage cleaned out, and so we have extra hay kind of floating around the farm right now. And we also have some goats that are in heat. They're just fine. That's Chico you hear mostly in the background. Rosie is due. Hopefully everything goes really well. Would really appreciate prayers to get us the rest of the way through kidding season. To be honest, I'm a little nervous after the last one. If you weren't with us for that video, we lost one of our mamas and her 2 babies. And yeah, we're still recovering from that loss. That was pretty hard. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and go through this order and make sure we have everything that's on the packing list. Not what was in your email, but what is in the packing list. And it's always a little tricky. So just take care when you're looking at this that you don't bust up any of your trees, and be really gentle when you're taking everything out. Okay, so this is our bundle of salmonberry. It's a bundle of 10, which is right here on the list. So we're gonna actually leave it all bundled up exactly just like this. Because we really, well, we can't really plant anything outside quite yet. So I'll show you what we're gonna do, and hopefully we'll be planting in the next couple days. Okay, now I know I have blackberries in this box, so I'm gonna have to be really careful not to poke myself. So this is oh, I forgot. I also have roses in this order. That's what's gonna be pokey. Yep, there it is. Okay, so this is a Flemish Beauty European pear. I had gotten one of these, well, I had made an order a few years ago, and the spring was so hot and that none of my trees lived at all. Like, only the ones that were in the shade in the pig pen made it, and then we had to move all of those out in an emergency pig escape to get the pigs in that pen. So anyway, basically that whole order of mine did not make it, and I was really bummed. So we reordered some of those things, and the Flemish pear is one of them. So if you're wondering what bare root means, It just means that they come literally bare root. It looks like you ordered a stick, so it's just dormant, and you have no soil on it, so they ship it with no dirt. We're gonna stick him up there. Okay, let's see what else is in here. Okay, this is another tree. This is the Moon Glow European pear. I have one of these in the garden already. It's done super well, but I never get pears because all of the ones that I had bought to cross-pollinate died off. So I'm really hoping that this one or the other one, at least in the next year or two, will at least start flowering so that we can get some pears. It's been really tricky with fruit trees here on the farm because of all the voles. That's really the primary issue that I have, and we have very rapidly draining soil. So we're working to build up the soil and keep the voles away from our fruit trees. Pardon the chickens, now it's their turn. Goats had their moment, and now it's the chickens' turn. So this is what you want to be really careful of, is these little bud or little baby stems here. You don't want to break those off if you can help it. So it literally looks like they sent me a dead stick, but I promise it's not a dead stick. So this is a bundle of 10. This is the Siberian pea shrub. I'm actually going to take this off for a second. The one fell out. These have done really well here. We ended up with quite a few problems out in the food forest, like the back food forest. So I ordered some of these so that I can kind of put them around in a different place on the farm and see if I can't get them to establish a little bit better. Okay, and I'm just making note on here mentally, you know, what I've got in here. And so far, we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good on our list. Again, I didn't order that many things for this go around because I would rather put all my effort into what I did order and not spread myself too thin. Is a triple crown thornless blackberry. I bought this because I had planted a couple of extra. I planted these a few years ago and they made it for a while, and then they were just in a spot, I think it was too acidic for them, so I'm going to move them, put a trellis up for them, and hopefully these guys will do pretty good here. If you have a cold climate garden or food forest, all of these things are supposed to do really well, and all of these things so far have done pretty good for me, just like for the weather wise. Now, a lot of these things that I've ordered over the years, they have failed because of one reason or another, but I'm not very nice to my plants sometimes because I really want to put it to the test and make it fail so that I can choose varieties later down the road that I know are fail proof. Oh my goodness. Poor goats. I promise they're fine. They're very much wanting to be with the boys. All right, what else do we have in here? I have a feeling this is another blackberry. Yes, this is another blackberry. Oh, see, and sometimes there is a little damage in shipping right here, but it's not going to be a huge deal. These guys we're not going for fruit production this year. I heard a saying, and I have watched it become true in my own garden. The first year they sleep, so that means you put them in the ground and they don't really do a whole lot. The second year they creep, which means they're in the ground, you've taken good care of them, and they might grow a little bit that next year. And the third year they leap, which means you're gonna get flowers and fruit and, you know, the beginnings of a good harvest. So we don't really expect too much other than just getting them established for the first year. Great thing about berry bushes, and they're like, we try to get as many types of berries as we can on the farm, is that they're really, they run, they spread, and a lot of people, especially if you're in a, you know, sort of a neighborhood, they don't like that about it. Well, for me in a food forest, that's a great thing because that means I can give away starts, I can sell starts, I can spread starts to different patches, and typically, even if something happens to your main patch, you've got a backup patch somewhere else or something along those lines. So I really love the berries. I gotta be really careful. Like, I found the roses. Okay, this one is a Jefferson hazelnut. Oh, this is pretty big. I haven't had one this big before. So I have tried to grow hazelnuts before. I've tried to grow Jefferson. I had another couple. I think Theta was another variety that I had. And I also had an American hazelnut, and all 3 of them have been eaten, all the varieties. That's not 3 plants, that's just the varieties. I have had them spread all over the food forest, and they'll grow and they'll grow and they'll grow. And I'm like, okay, I think we're actually gonna get some major, you know, to that leap year, and then Athol will just clean off, eat all the roots off, and we're back to square one. So I'm trying it again. We're kind of trying to plant things a little bit closer to the house and not so far out, just while we're establishing it. And if we have to, we'll just pack up right close to the house and keep, you know, slowly spreading our way out into the back of the food forest. I think that's going to be a better strategy for us. This beautiful rugosa rose. Now, you guys have seen me long enough. You know I love my rose petals. So a rugosa rose is awesome because you get the good rose hips on them. So hopefully I can stick this guy somewhere. I've stuck him way too far out in the back corner, and it just didn't get established well enough. So again, I'm just changing my tactic here, and you know, we're really just doing everything we can to make this food forest thrive in this crazy climate of ours. And the last bundle in here is our American blue elderberry. Now, I have tried so many times for so many years to get sort of a stem cutting off of them to root, and they just don't work. They'll grow for a while. I have a couple here in these pots. They'll grow for a while, and then they leaf out, and then all of a sudden they just die, and even with roots on them. So I have actually heard that from quite a few people. So this year I just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna order a bundle, see how they come, because I wasn't sure if they'd be root cutting or stem cutting. These are definitely, it looks like root cutting to me. And so I'm wondering if I can try that. This is the native blue Sambucus caerulea elderberries that I like to work with. I make elderberry syrup every year, and we have to go pretty far out and usually on the side of the edge of a mountain in order to harvest. And that's really, it works, but it's just a lot. And so if I can get them established really well here on my property, I would rather do that. And I would like to be able to share these with some people as well. So yeah, these look a little slimy, but it's not too bad. It'll be all right. And they've already got some growth on them. I'll have to go out and look. So what I try to do is I look and see where are my other plants in the garden in relation to what comes in the mail. So I will likely, these don't look like they really started budding out too much, which is very good. Really, at this point, it's just going to be a matter of getting them planted. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to lay them back in the box, and we are going to make sure that they have plenty of this newspaper all around the roots. All right, and then we're going to leave it open because we don't want to expose, we don't want to cover up anything with the plastic, I mean. Okay, and then at that point, so I won't be able to plant these today, and I might not be able to plant them tomorrow, but Monday it looks like will be the day. So I'm just gonna have to take good care of them and hope they're gonna be fine. They should be all right out here in the greenhouse. It's not very warm out here today. If it gets too warm in here tomorrow, I will have to move them out into just the outside in this box, but they should be fine. I am pretty darn excited about our tree order for this year. It's always fun to open plants. I'm going to show you a quick tour of this greenhouse real quick and kind of tell you what we got going on there. And then I do want to give you an update on the goats. You haven't seen the baby goats in a while. I want to show you those. And I also want to take you around the garden and show you what we have going on there. But I don't think all of that's going to happen today, but it will happen before this video comes out. So we have not gotten the panel fixed. I did pick it up though, and we will get it fixed probably before this video even comes out, because I went ahead and put this heater out here, got it hooked up to an extension cord hooked to the house. And really the plan is just to keep the temperature from freezing out here, because our house is full of plants. So the kitties are still coming in here. I did plant some greens in here, so hopefully those are going to be taken off here real soon. A lot of our things are coming back to life. This is our Hinomaki red gooseberries. They are really springing up. We have quite a few of our kiwis that are coming back to life. This is some celery plants that I've got ready for our own use as well as selling. I am very excited to see that some of our currants made it through the winter, packed. They were all in this bed under the straw. And then of course we have things that did not make it, which is like our horseradish here. But we have plenty of little babies growing in the bed to try again. We've got some pansies there and just some different things in pots there. And we have a whole bunch of these kiwis that really did quite well this way. And again, more of the gooseberries. What I am not seeing any life on yet, which I thought I was before, are these Chicago hardy figs. Now, they were kind of a gamble putting them out here, so we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully they'll be blessed and they will grow. But we've got lots and lots of starts. We have some beautiful heirloom petunias over there. We've got more right here. And then we have so many starts. Now, I don't think any of the forsythia that we tried to start made it. I think we started them too late and they just didn't get taken care of through the hot in the greenhouse. And then we had all these Yasta berries that we tried to start. Well, actually they were started. They just, again, they didn't really, they overwintered right here, which maybe wasn't the best for them. And then I do have some small pots of berries right there that maybe also didn't make it. So we'll see. So at this point, my house is filled with peppers and tomatoes. I still haven't even started broccoli or cabbage or any of the other things I need to start. So I will be doing that in the next few days for sure. But it's been such a cold spring. It honestly, to me, feels like it has been March in April. It is so cold and such a slow start that I haven't wanted to start things too soon, because if you're taking care of them in a pot for too many weeks, you run the risk of losing them anyway. So, but I will be going ahead and getting those things going and getting ready for our plant sale. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be really great to be able to share more things with friends and family and neighbors. The other kitty. They're really loving the greenhouse, that's for sure. They don't know. Shh, don't tell them. Don't tell them that their time is very limited. Yeah. Well, I also wanted to say thank you guys so much. Thank you for your sweet words. I have gotten a lot of messages and sweet comments from people and just supporting us through the loss of our dear Henri goat. You all know I had a love-hate relationship with her, but to be honest, I really miss her. Our barnyard is a lot quieter generally. You're not witnessing that today, but generally a lot quieter than it is today. And it's been kind of hard. We've had a lot of other things happen in life that are also challenging. And so anyway, I just appreciate you guys, your support, and your prayers. So thank you for that.
Show me. They are powered by this.
Oh, what's it called?
It's called a check nut. Check nut. It's
Wait.
that.
Eli, what's it called? Ben, what's it called?
Check nut. Check nut.
Yep, you heard that right. They're called check nuts.
Did you send this to Dad? Check nut.
Okay, my friends. I really wanted to be able to take my time and show you all the updates. That's not going to happen. Why? Well, okay. Let's just start with a few of the things that we have going on. Hang on. Children are calling me. All right. Issue number 1 is we have Starlink. Well, we do again. We haven't had it, which means I can't upload. All right. It's a little bit windy today, but I really, really want to show you guys an update on all the things because so much has happened since I have been able to hang out with you guys. So I did want to tell you that right now for this season, our life is changing a little bit. Well, a lot of it. And I would rather put out good content than just try to shove out videos. So it'll probably look like about 1 video a week. It will come out hopefully most of the time on a Monday. I was hoping to have this video out on Monday, but we had no internet again. So that happened. But I think we figured out all the issues. We had a bad cable. I'm pretty sure it's all fixed up. My friend came over
and he said it was all working well. So I had to do a few things on my end with my app, and now it's all good. So anyway, yeah, other than this one issue, our Starlink has been incredible. I'm really thankful for it because, to be honest, we really don't have very many options where we live. So being able to get these videos out to you guys is, I have to have internet. So that's just the thing. All right. So I wanted to give you an update. Remember, I will leave a link at the end of this video for you to watch if you did not see me haul these great big rose bushes here last summer. Well, I have the most exciting news for you. The first one is I have this beautiful Don Juan heirloom rose, David Austin, that I planted on my 30th birthday. And it just has never done very well where I had it. So I moved it over here because these other roses were doing pretty good over here. And I thought maybe it's a little more sheltered and I might be able to get it to grow. So it's a trellising rose, which means it should go way up high. And I kind of want to run it around the front archway of the door. So we'll see. I also put in a rhubarb. You know, we have 1,000 rhubarb plants, a bleeding heart, and then the most exciting part of all of this, actually, I'm gonna flip this camera. I came out here yesterday and this rose is alive. So I'm really excited about that. There's a whole bunch of it that's coming up. That's the rhubarb I just transplanted. And then this rose is a little bit further behind. I actually don't even see any of it coming up yet, but I'm pretty sure it will. So it had grown all this new growth last year. And then I don't know if this roadie is going to make it or not. That was a risk, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. He is pretty old. Actually, I even might see some green on it. So we'll see. And then I just transplanted this bleeding heart. So if you've been following me for any amount of time, you guys know how cold our climate is. This year, our spring is a whole month behind. Like, this April has felt like March. It's nuts. Our snow, actually, if you drive down our road, we still have snow. So that's what I want to show you there. Now I'm going to take you into the kitchen garden, show you what's happening there, and let's just talk for a minute about the garden. This is my raised bed kitchen garden. I love it. I was able to get all the cinder block put in here. So I dug all of that out. This was kind of sloped up because this was an in-ground garden, and really those beds were just gonna fall down anyway, kind of into the yard side, and we couldn't really mow in here. So I am gonna put some gravel in around it. I haven't done that yet because we got some crummy weather, but it looks like the weather is gonna turn around this week, so we are out playing in the garden. I already have been in it all day. My hands, well, actually I must have washed it off when I planted the roses, but I was pretty dirty before I picked up my phone. So some things are starting to pop up. We've got some strawberries in these two beds. They're popping up. We've got a few herbs and things that are coming in. I'm going to show you a couple plants that are coming up out here, because if you have not planted any hardy perennials, I want to show you a few of the ones that are coming up, even though there's still been snow on the ground. Hi Goldie. Oh, Goldie's crazy. Where'd she go? Oh, she's right by me. But so normally we plant this garden out with all of our spring greens in the beginning of April. It's still not planted today, so I am planning on planting it. I was gonna do it today, but it's pretty windy, so I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. Sorry if it's windy, it's bothering you guys too. I'll keep it quick. Here is a perennial. It's probably my favorite edible flower just because it comes up so early. We still had snow all around this and we already had flowers blooming. So we'll start letting the kids pick these and we'll be putting them on our salads and just adding a little color to our plate this, well, late spring, but usually it's much earlier. You can see some of these guys are still looking a little rough because it still gets really cold at night. We did have a couple of these guys make it. These are parsnips, and we had one lone leak. Moment of honesty, I actually don't know if this is on purpose or if it's a weed. It kind of looks like it might have been on purpose because I have it all in this sort of one section here, but I need to look and find out if this is one, and I will keep you posted. But this is Egyptian walking onion, and it's coming up. This is Good King Henry, and this is Lovage. I've got a couple of those. This is Jerusalem artichoke. There's a spot there that's coming up, and here's another spot right here. So these were really, really tall. They were they were as tall as this trellis is. So I'd say guess, maybe 11 or 12 feet. And then these are some chives. The reason we call this the kitchen garden is because that is my front door right there. My kitchen is right inside that door. I love to be able to come straight out the door and come out to this garden, grab something for throwing on our plate, or adding to our plate, just adding some extra greens. The kids like to come and hang out here. It's a kind of a cozy little corner of the plate of the garden, and it's just really nice to have some extra flowers, some extra herbs, or just whatever we can get. We even had a few carrots I see come, and they made it through the winter, so we should have those as well. When you grow in a really cold climate like we do, spring greens, or really any greens, especially early spring, are most desirable. So I try to plant things that I know are going to come up as soon as possible, even with snow on the ground, even when the nighttime temperatures are still in the 20s. And those are some of my favorites that I just showed you. So I will be planting this garden out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take you guys along or not. Our life is a little bit hectic right now, but I do want to keep you guys updated throughout the spring as we keep going. I do hope to be able to have my schedule settle down a little bit, but we are preparing for the Modern Homestead Conference, which is going to be coming to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, the very end of June and beginning of July. So I will leave a link down below in the description box for you guys. If you want to check that out, come see me. I'm so excited. I'll be speaking on elderberries. I've got tons of friends who are going to be there, and there's going to be some amazing speakers who are all going to be gearing their talks toward homesteading in a cold climate like this. So if you guys are wanting to learn more about that, you want to come, I highly recommend you come to that conference, and I would love to see you in person and meet you. We're going to be having some events here up on the farm, kind of leading up to that, and we just have a lot going on. So it's all super exciting stuff. It's stuff that I really can't wait to share with you, but it is certainly making my schedule very busy. And I will kind of let you in on a few other things that are going on here that have not been so amazing, but I'm going to keep the details to a minimum. Come on, let's free the captives. Come on. I'm not going to hurt you. Come on. All right, I thought I would bring you out into the barnyard. Okay, so we've released the captives. My children have been playing with the chickens and apparently left a couple in the chicken tractor. Poor things. If you saw Titus just then, he has been our main rooster fella on the farm he was one of our very first chickens on the farm. And we keep a new rooster, a rooster in training, because we have owls and occasionally raccoons and skunks and all kinds of things. So Titus has lived a very long, happy life here, and he has been the main man. Well, this spring, him and so Titus and who do we call our other rooster? Hot Rod. So sorry, I don't remember all the names. The kids give the names to the chickens. So I love Titus. He's such a good rooster. He's been great. So Hot Rod has been our rooster in training, and he has been fighting for the dominant role as the keeper of hens. So Titus and some of our older hens will probably be retired to the compost pile, and then I will start a laying flock, which Hot Rod will be in charge of. I'm not ready to do that yet, so they're just gonna have to, they don't fight very often, but they had a pretty good fight yesterday, and it seems to me like, there they are over there, Hot Rod pretty much has charge of those ladies. So that's kind of Titus is still allowed to be a part of it. They don't fight every day. I'm not a big fan of that, and I'm hoping that they're just gonna kind of live peacefully now. But obviously we'll just keep an eye out on that. Last night we had a coyote get into our barnyard and take our goose Cosmo, which has caused much distress today. We are very sad. Ben is trapped in the buck pen. But Eli, will you please go help your brother? He's been collecting duck eggs. So yeah, that was really, really sad for our oldest. He has been taking good care of him. He saved him from Christmas dinner, and that was just a really tough thing to wake up to this morning. We have had a lot of rough stuff happen in our family, and yeah, that was just another thing. So anyway, please say a prayer for him and his little heart. The goats.
Oh my gosh.
So we let the little babies, you can see them, they're kind of running around. There's the little white one over there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you found all the duck eggs. What did you find?
These were in the little house, and the ducks laid and
I am so glad you found them all. Good. Okay, now you know where they're laying, so good. Good, that makes up for all the chicken eggs that you dropped earlier.
I guess they give me more.
Yeah, that's great. Good job. Okay, take those in the house. Thank you. So on our farm, our children take responsibility with me to run the farm. That means that everybody has their own animals to take care of, and I try very hard not to daily oversee the animals that they're in charge of. I give them tips, I give them hints, I check on them via things like how many eggs are coming in the house. That tells me if they're feeding them every day. I'll sort of, peek in every once in a while when the kids don't really know. So Cosmos, we had been letting out. We have this puddle right there that all the ducks play at, and the goose recently has been let out of the boy goat pen and been joining the ducks, especially since we found out she's a girl and we know she's not going to hurt the ducks. That's what prompted this. So I had told the boys, make sure that you lock up the goose every night, and I said we should probably start locking up the ducks. Well, we didn't last night. So they have lots of places to go and to get away, but unfortunately, yeah, we just all had a really tough lesson, and so tonight the kids are very settled in what they need to do now, and the weight of that responsibility was very hard on them. But it's so important for the kids to feel that weight of responsibility and to lose something that's theirs. So the goose was entirely my son's. He's the only one who's eaten their eggs. Hang on just a sec. So, he made his choice, and that's been, basically, I've just really loved on him today. I did not say, told you so, or, any of that kind of stuff. It's really just been me loving on him. He knows what happened. He knows it was his responsibility. He knows he failed, and there's no reason for me to make that any harder or any worse on him. So, anyway, yeah, I just want to encourage you guys, that's important. And I feel like a lot of kids these days, they just don't feel the weight of their actions and their responsibility until they're adults. And that's really hard if you go all through your childhood and having a relatively easy and no real weighty stuff. And then you're all of a sudden, an adult at 18 and life smacks you in the face. I don't want that to happen to my kids. I want them to feel stuff now while I'm here and I can hold them and love on them and help them do better next time. That's super important to me. So anyway, total side note. Sorry, I didn't mean to get into all that, but that's, something we've been dealing with. So one of the last updates I want to give you guys is on these goats. So Rosie, she is still pregnant. Her due date was yesterday. Hopefully when you guys see this, she will not still be pregnant. I have been watching her. She looks like she's starting to show some signs. Her fur around her back end is all fussed up, so she's a little bit restless today. So I'm hoping that we're going to go ahead and have these babies real soon. Hang on. So Rosie is over here rubbing her hiney on the fence. So basically at this point, we're really just hoping that the babies are alive in there, that everything goes really well, and that we don't have any further issues with the iodine deficiency. It sounds like there's a lot of this going on in our area. It sounds like there's a particular flower or weed that could have been in some hay for certain people. Anyway, we don't honestly know. Our area is very it's common for us not to have enough copper or iodine or any of that in our soil. So, you know, I don't really care about placing blame. I'm really not interested in that because it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't help anything. What I really want is I want my girls to be healthy and happy, and I want their babies to be healthy and happy. There's the cute little babies playing on the mound there. I wanted to pull that out of there, but they're having so much fun on it. Like, well, I can stay for a little bit longer. I've got other things that are more pressing right now. But so those are Birdie's babies. You guys saw them on their very first day. The little white one had some struggles at first, but everybody's really great. They're doing super good. They're happy. They're healthy. Mom is happy and healthy. So we're just hoping that Rosie will get through this and everything's going to be okay. We also experienced a loss in our family, in our pretty close family, and so that is another reason why I haven't really been around. So I will actually leave a link down in the description box if you guys are interested in supporting the family member. They were just young kids, and well, young kids in their 20s, whatever. But anyway, it was a really unexpected loss. So I will leave that GoFundMe link down in the description box. If you guys are interested in helping support that family, that would mean a lot to me, and I know it would mean a lot to them. It's been an extremely difficult season to walk through, on top of an already difficult season to walk through. So at this time, I'm not going to be sharing any more details on what we've been dealing with. I want to be sensitive to mostly my children, but also some other family members, and I just could really use your guys' prayers. I appreciate all the sweet messages we've been getting, especially over our loss of our other goat and her babies. Yeah, sometimes there's just seasons where you're learning and you're growing in faith and you're growing stronger, and this has been one of those difficult chapters of life. But I'm excited for what's on the horizon. I'm really, really looking forward to the Modern Homestead Conference. I'm really looking forward to sharing all the garden stuff with you guys. And I know it's been a little bit of a struggle with this channel and getting through, but I promise this season will end. And if you're also in a difficult season, it will end. Things will get better. You just have to take it one step at a time. Do what's right in front of your face. Every day I say, okay, what do I have to do right now? Today it's been water the greenhouse, move some plants, feed my children, and you know, just doing those things that are right in front of you. So I bless you guys in whatever season that you're in. I bless your gardens. I'm so excited. If you have some exciting things happening in your gardens or on your homesteads, please leave it down in the comments and share it with me. I love to hear your stories. I love to hear your feedback. So thank you. I have really appreciated all the people who have shared their hard losses with me. So thank you for sending me those messages. I will see you guys in another video. Thanks for joining me. Before I go, I thought I would show you what's happened in my greenhouse since I even filmed the last video, which is this video. So here is the starts. They're not planted yet, which is okay. It's only been a couple days since I filmed, but they're soaking and I will be planting them tomorrow. I just want to double check and make sure I'm going to put them in the right spaces. Whoops, hold on. Do any of you own huskies? Our rescue husky, she just loves to be around me and she wants to be where I am, which means she wants to come out in the barnyard. And I promise you, she will eat all of our animals if I let her out. It's very, very tricky. Okay. So that's what keeps interrupting this. The last thing here, let me show you what has happened in this greenhouse. I have taken Crazy Plant Lady maybe to a whole new level. Not necessarily on purpose. I mean, it is for a nursery, right? I'm going to have this plant sale coming up next week. Oh man, the dog's out again. There she comes. She's so naughty. Okay, here's our quick look. got all these up into their own pots, all of these little starts. I don't even know. Like, this whole thing is full. I'm gonna have to fill up these beds. I mean, so yeah, so if you're local, please come buy plants from me on Friday, May 5th. So that, or May 6th, I think. Whatever it is, I'll leave it in the description box. Come buy plants and help me have more space for more plants. I am super, super excited about this. Should take my coat inside. Got hot in here today. Anyway, you guys, thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Oh, this season, it's gonna be good, right? It's gonna be fine. And we've got plants. Like, when all else fails, have plants. Don't forget to keep learning and grow.